Hey everybody, welcome back to Castle Farms Homestead. It is not a bad day for December. It's sunny and decently warm. So not a bad day for December, but it's not a very great day because I'm having to do a project because of something that I screwed up with. So that doesn't make me happy. But let me tell you what's going on. So the other day, I'm come out. We need some more water in the fifth well, and so right now we don't have water hooked up other than through the well pump to a yard hydrant that's normally right there. You don't see it right now, and we run water from that. We have to turn on the power and get it started and run it. So went to do that and nothing was coming out of the hose. I thought, oh no, is there water that's frozen in it or what? And actually it was just barely trickling out. And I had two hoses hooked up to it, checked the other side, it was barely trickling out as well. And I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Went to go do something, I can't remember what, and I hear this noise over by the well. And I come over and there's a gushing leak from the bottom of the yard hydrant. Well, immediately I know what's going on. It's because it froze and busted it. So I got down into there to figure out what's going on, and sure enough, this base piece for the hydrant is split big time. So anyway, I took the hydrant out, called around about for this piece. Nobody carries this thing. So I had to actually order it from Woodford. And if you know, well, first of all, if you know these yard hydrants, they're not supposed to freeze. Dang it. Well, they're not supposed to freeze if you do things right, not if you do things wrong. They're designed so that when you push the lever back down, water escapes out of this little hole right here, drains out of the pipe so that you don't freeze it. And that's great if you've got the whole thing covered up. And I've got it right here at the wellhead, and I think because at the wellhead there's also water at the bottom there at the wellhead. And I thought I'd be safe just closing it down, letting the water drain out, I'd be fine. But because it was exposed and there's still some water sitting down there, it froze and busted this piece. So anyway, I've ordered that piece. It's supposed to be coming in, but I wanted to get this fixed. So instead what I did is I went and bought another hydrant. However, when I got back here, it's a foot smaller than the one I had in. And although it's the right depth, I kind of wanted a taller hydrant. So I don't think I'm actually going to use that hydrant. You can see here, see if you can see, it's about a foot shorter than the new one. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that base off right there and put it on the other one. And I'll still use that hydrant, but not here right now. I'll figure out what I'm going to do. But I'm going to replace this base, or that base, and put it on the old one and hook everything back up and hopefully have some water, because we just ran out of water completely in the fifth well now, so then we can fill up the fifth well again. So just to kind of show you how these hydrants work, if you're not familiar with them, which, you know, mostly these are used in the, you know, in the country, but where, yeah, you're having to rely on your country water. But so these things have a lever that pulls up, and when that pulls up through here, it pulls on a rod that's down here and lifts this up and releases the compression there to allow water to come out. And then when you depress it, pull it up, water comes out. When you depress it, that one's not doing it very well, but when you pull it up, this is a new one, pull it up. When you depress it, it clicks in. And that's when the water then weeps out of this hole right here. And I'm not going to do a complete install now because we haven't hooked up our water that's going to be in the well pump that we're going to be doing here real quick. The pump house, I mean. So right now we're still going to leave this. We're not going to fill it back in, but we're going to stuff it full of stuff to protect it so that it doesn't freeze again. So right now I just need to take this off. Should be pretty simple. Should be able to just twist that off. We'll tape it back up again with this piece here. Actually, I've got to take that little fitting off right there. Those screws, that transition part, put it on here, and then that will fit into the hole. Okay, change of plans. I'm cranking on that thing. It's not budging. I'm assuming there's some kind of sealant or something that they're putting in that on that. I thought it would break free. I'm actually worried about breaking something if I crank on it any harder than I was. And I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that hydrant. I'm going to put this piece on there, and I'm pretty sure I can take that one off, and I'll put it on, and we'll just put that new hydrant on. Be easy. Won't be as tall as I was hoping, but that'll work. We'll give it a shot. I'm going to wrap it with this rag so I don't screw up the threads too bad, hopefully. That was much easier. Why didn't that one do the same thing? All right. Okay, let's screw it on. So before I put the hydrant in, I want to have something to support it. So I got me this T-post. I'm going to drive this T-post right next to where the hydrant's going to run up, and then I'm going to secure that hydrant to this with some galvanized wire, and hopefully that will help steady it, make sure it stays in place, doesn't get bent over as easy or anything. So hopefully I can get this thing driven in here without too much trouble. Well, let's dampen here because all the water that came out. That should be good. Let's get the hydrant. Now normally what you do when you put this in, you would actually surround the bottom of it with rocks, and I'll show you that later when I'm actually completing this. But you surround it with rocks so that it'll be some free flow of water from the hydrant through that hole, and so it can drain out. But right now, I'm not doing that. But we're just going to tighten this up a little bit more. Now we need to test it out. Let's see how it goes. So I'm going to hook up a couple of hoses here. Need to make sure I got a good flow of water coming out, which I'm a little bit worried about because there's ice still in that bottom there. But I'm hoping it's loose in there, so I'm hoping water will go ahead and flow around that. And once it gets flowing through it, it'll melt it. And another hose there. You got to make sure that's up and open. Let's see what happens. I've got to go down to the batteries now. That's where my pump driver is, my VFD, or quantum drive as we call it. And that's where I turn it on. So we'll give it a shot. And that shot will just be me walking away there, bud. So this is our setup for our power right now. It's in this cubby of the fifth wheel. Inside of this, we've got our batteries and inverters and our VFD, or quantum drive. So we're going to turn this thing on. There we go. Power is on now to this. Yep, there we go. Okay. Now I got to punch in all the stuff. And I need 2 hands, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, it's running. Let's go see if there's water coming out and make sure we don't have more of a leak. Ooh, I do see water coming out of the hose over there. That's a good thing. Look at that. I don't want a watery mess here, so I'm going to move the hose. And obviously water's coming out over there too from that hose. So that's good. I'm going to leave this over here. Working out all the air. Let's make sure there's no leaks over here. Please no leaks, please no leaks. Oh yeah. It's looking good. Nothing. Perfect. All right, we have success. Everything worked out right. That's great. Now, what I'll do today, the rest of is to protect this down here, is I'm going to pack that full of straw and then also cover it down here so that it'll protect it from the cold. It won't freeze again until we can actually get the water hooked up here and into the water pump house and solar house, and then we can fill this in completely. So great day, success at Castle Farms Homestead. Hey, if you like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to share it with other people too. That'd be great for us. Appreciate it. Hey, we'll see you guys next time on Castle Farms Homestead.